What is good, Storm fans? I am Bryant Cook, and today we're playing PaintBomber, a donation deck from Dominic Ricci. And, well, what is PaintBomber? Well, if you're familiar with Legacy Painter Servant combo and Bomberman, it is those two decks combined, but if you're not, I'm about to explain it anyway. So this deck is Painter Servant, a 2 mana value creature that's a 1/3 Scarecrow. As it enters the battlefield, you pick a color. Every card in every zone becomes that color. Hand, graveyard, library, etc. Okay. Well, when you combine that with Grindstone, a 1 mana value artifact that says pay 3 and tap it, you mill the top 2 cards of target player's library, and if they share a color, you repeat this process. So this will deck your opponent instantly. That's pretty cool. And on top of that, so we have this combo here, that is combo A. Combo B is Auriok Salvagers, Lion's Eye Diamond, Pyrite Spellbomb. This is the Bomberman combo. When you combine Auriok Salvagers, which is a 4 mana value creature, it's a 2/4, 1 and a white, you return a target artifact from your graveyard to your hand with mana value 1 or less. So you return Lion's Eye Diamond, which makes 3 mana, you discard your hand, you return it for 2. Alright, so every time you do this, you net 1 mana in the loop. You can make infinite mana, and then return Pyrite Spellbomb over and over again, keep shooting your opponent for 2. This is tons and 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 tons of clicks on Magic Online. Hopefully I don't actually have to do this that many times. Maybe one game, but we'll see how this league goes, but I'm hoping I don't have to do that. You do have Walking Ballista as well, which is slightly less clicks, but still a lot. So not really much better, but it is capable of winning the game that way. So those are the two main combos in the deck. You have a synergy card in Urza Saga that helps aid both combos. So when you're an artifact-based combo deck, obviously the constructs are going to be huge. They provide you with a wonderful backup plan. Well, the third chapter on Urza Saga finds combo pieces. It finds the Lion's Eye Diamond, or the Pyrite Spellbomb you might need. It also finds Grindstone. It could even get something like a Hope of Gearper to protect your combo. Soul Guide Lantern for graveyard decks. It actually offers a lot. So I think Urza Saga is the perfect card for this deck and provides it with a lot of depth instead of it just being a bunch of, what is it called? 2-card Monty combos. There we go, I got it. Alright, so instead of just being, random combos here or there, provide some consistency. Speaking of consistency, we have Fable the Mirror Breaker that adds some smoothing. It could copy some creatures. I don't know if that part's super relevant, but I think the consistency aspect is quite good while ramping our combo. We have Imperial Recruiter, which finds 2 halves of each or 1 half of each combo, I should say. It finds Painter Servant, the Auriok Salvagers, or that protection spell in Hope of Gearper, as I mentioned. We also have Karn the Great Creator that gets Lion's Eye Diamond. It gets Walking Ballista for the Bomberman combo. It also gets the entire Painter Servant combo with Grindstone and Painter Servant. Or you can get Mycosynth Lattice and completely lock the opponent out of the game. So tons of sweet synergies and combos within this PaintBomber deck. And once again, thank you to Dominic for supporting the channel and submitting this. I think it's ultra sweet, and I'm sure it's going to be great today. One notable exclusion: Enlightened Tutor. It is not in this deck. That's not to say Enlightened Tutor is a bad card, but I think if I had to explain Dominic's point here, we already have 8 tutor effects between Imperial Recruiter, Karn the Great Creator, and if you want to count Urza Saga, 12. Do we really need more tutor effects, especially one that causes us to go down on card advantage? I'm not so sure. You could play Enlightened Tutor, and I don't think it would be a terrible choice. That said, I don't know if it's necessary. If you have strong opinions, you can put those in the comment section down below. So I've covered most of this deck at this point. Yeah, we have some sweet utility cards in the sideboard like Portable Hole, Containment Priest, Aethersworn Canonist. I'll let you use your imagination on why they're here. I think they're all pretty obvious. But without any further ado, I would like to hop on in and play some Magic the Gathering. I just love Legacy, and I hope that you love this video. So stick around, find out, and I will see you in the first match. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We're on the draw against Negator 87. I am good friends with Negator 77. I'm guessing that Negator 87 is a tribute to them. I'm not really sure. We're on the draw, and I will keep. Alright, Negator 87. One thing that I'm sort of hoping for today is being the Epic Storm guy. I'm hoping that a lot of opponents don't keep hands with Swords to Plowshares in them. We'll take a draw. Cavern of Souls. Okay. Let's play the Cavern. Let's say Scarecrow? Grindstone. We'll pass the turn. Ponder from the opponent. Are you on a control deck? Cephalid Breakfast? What's going on here? Polluted Delta. Okay. Draw for turn. Another Karn the Great Creator. Let's play that Lotus Petal. City of Traders. We will tap for Scarecrow mana. And play the Painter's Servant. We will say red. Pass the turn. And the opponent concedes. I love it. Okay. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that they're actually playing Cephalid Breakfast. So we could bring in the Fairy Macabre. I don't think Walking Ballista is like terribly good in these matchups, so I don't mind boarding that out either. I understand that it's a part of our combo. We're leaving some of it in. But I think I like swapping one with the Fairy Macabre. Alright, let's submit this. I imagine today we won't be doing a whole lot of sideboarding. When you do view our sideboard, there's actually very few cards that come... Actually, we might want Containment Priest. Let's swap that with a... Yeah, okay. So we want this one too if I think that there's Cephalid Breakfast. But there's only a couple cards on our sideboard that actually get boarded in. I think that we could probably do better than this. This hand is just so slow. Okay. Keep bottom the Arid Mesa. Another Flooded Strand. Ponder, no new information yet. And they shuffled. Draw for turn. Grindstone? How crazy. Alright, I think we're going to try turn 1 Fable and the Mirror Breaker. Add red. Fable. Let's break some mirrors. Trigger. We have a Goblin. This is just the Epic Storm. If you think about it, like we're making Goblin tokens, we're winning with combos. They're essentially the same deck. Alright, this is definitely Cephalid Breakfast. Prismatic Ending on our Goblin, okay. Alright, so Fable happens. Yes, I'll discard Auriok Salvagers and Imperial Recruiter. Let's play a Grindstone. Cavern of Souls will say Scarecrow again. Make some Scarecrow mana, Painter's Servant. Alright, we will pick red. Pass the turn. Needle? That's not very nice. Okay. Do I have a... I guess... I'm trying to think if I have an easy way to remove Needle. I don't think I do in the main deck. I think it's just like Karn for Portable Hole. Play a Plateau. Another Fable. Triggers, and that will bring the pain. Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Soul Guide Lantern. So this will shut off the Bomberman aspect of the deck. I mean, they have a lot of... I mean, these are both Urza Saga targets, which are in Cephalid Breakfast, and I've seen swords in the sideboards of those decks. So we'll draw. Fable will trigger. Yes, I'm only going to discard the Ancient Tomb. Play another Fable. And we'll attack for 3. The opponent goes to 15. We could be dead at any moment, so I am not counting my chickens or anything like that. There's the Nomads. It is, in fact, breakfast. No Illusionist yet. I think what we want to do is find Imperial Recruiter for that Fairy Macabre. And there's Imperial Recruiter. Perfect. We'll discard the Mountain. And then the Saga will transform. Imperial Recruiter. Yes, it resolved. That means that we can go get the fairy. Perfect. Play the Lotus Petal. And we'll swing for 5. I am the beatdown. Hear me roar. So this attack will put our opponent to 10. I don't want to like pretend that we've won this game because our opponent could easily have a second Needle or something. But I am feeling pretty good about the situation we're in. They choose to draw a card with the Soul Guide Lantern on my end step. Swords to Plowshares, that's fine. This Fable will transform. Urza Saga. Okay. We have all the mana in the world at this point. Swing for 6. We could even hardcast the Fairy Macabre. That's pretty good, right? Having it in play. And that's the match. I didn't have to execute the Bomberman combo, and we got a win. I love it. Alright, 1-0. 4 matches left. I hope they're just as great as this one. Stick around and find out. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match 2, we're on the play. Okay, so we have a little bit of every combo here. I just think that this hand's sort of clunky, and we're going to lose our Urza Sagas, but I guess this is a turn 3 Painter win? Guess I'll try it. I don't know. What this hand really needs is an Ancient Tomb. Urza Saga. Play out a Spellbomb. Pass the turn. Wasteland? That's not good. And then they play a Lotus Petal. What are you playing? Why can't I think of what deck this should be? Alright, pass the turn. The one nice thing here is if I can play the Cavern Souls next turn. This still isn't ringing a bell right now. I can't... I'm sure the answer is obvious, but my brain just like can't see what deck this is. Initiative? But Initiative doesn't play map. There's the Ancient Tomb I asked for. Alright, we'll play Cavern. I'll say Scarecrow. Alright. The Servant. And black. I'm sure there's a color you're supposed to pick every time, but it's definitely not blue, because if your opponent's a Force of Will deck, they can then exile lands to Force of Will, and nobody wants that to happen. At least by naming black, I guess, you get to dodge removal that says non-black creature, but cards like that don't really see play in Legacy anyway. Our opponent uses the map immediately. They might be getting Wasteland to destroy Saga. And they do grab a Wasteland. Okay. Sure thing. We'll draw Imperial Recruiter. This is going to make me sick to my stomach, but I'm going to cast Karn the Great Creator. The great piece of trash. Alright, Karn. We'll minus. Yes. And grab Grindstone. Swing. City of Traders. And a concession. Nice. Love it. Not really sure what our opponent's playing. I guess I could board in Brutal Cathar. That is a tutor target for Imperial Recruiter. Probably don't need the Hope of Ghirapur in this matchup. And we'll hit submit. I guess the one nice thing about Dominic's deck here is that, like, I don't have to guess about sideboarding because there's basically nothing to sideboard. This is a turn 2 Karn the Great Piece of Trash. I'm not really sure what our opponent's playing still. I'll keep it. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Mox Diamond. Discard City of Traders for a map. Ancient Tomb for Grimmon. Okay, so if I draw Simian Spirit Guide off the top rope, we're going to wreck their whole world. Ooh. Okay. That was not very nice of you. But we could still win this game. We'll pass the turn. They use the Expedition map. And they grab an Urza Saga. Saga Wars. Ooh. That was actually very good. Alright, we'll play our own Saga here. Pass the turn. Wasteland. So that's going to put them really far ahead. Because now they get to use both of their Saga activations before I can play Karn. I'm going to concede this one. I don't think we're going to be able to come back. On the play, we might have been able to win this game. Maybe I want to bring in the Needle instead of the Soul Guide Lantern to name Wasteland. Let's do that. On the play for game 3. Sure, we'll keep. Urza's Saga. Pitch a Spirit Guide. Painter's Servant. We'll say black. Go. Turn 1 Rashadon port into Expedition map. Our saga will tick up to Chapter 2. Ancient Tomb. I am the beatdown, hear me roar. Rawr. Pass. They have their own copy of Urza Saga, okay. On their end step, we will create a construct. Draw for turn, am I allowed? And they're going to target our Ancient Tomb, we'll make another construct. We'll go and grab Grindstone, play basic planes, and get in there for 5. So this turn they can use map for Wasteland on the Ancient Tomb. But if they do that, they're very close to dead. I guess that's my point. Okay, so they're not making that play here. Instead, they're tapping 4 mana. Karn the Great Creator. Okay. They're going to turn their map into a blocking creature. That just puts them dead on board? Or am I wrong? No, they're not dead. Even if, yeah, they're not dead. I can guarantee that the Karn dies, though. I could play the Brutal Cathar. That actually might be a good line here. Instead of just playing another Painter Servant. Boom! Love it. Alright, 2-0. Let's get the next 3. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round 3, and I still have not had to do the Bomberman combo. We're living great here. Okay, so we have Hope of Gearper, we have Grindstone, we have a way to go get Painter Servant. Keep. Okay, on the play. Should this just be turn 1 Imperial Recruiter? Alright, I'm going to start off on Saga instead. I'm not sure what our opponent plays, but I remember them being non-blue, and if they're non-blue, I want the Lion's Eye Diamond off the Saga. Play Grindstone, and we'll pass the turn after that. Alright, well, it certainly looks like a blue deck. Walking Ballista. Pitch a Simian Spirit Guide. Imperial Recruiter. That triggers, we'll go grab Painter Servant. Hope of Gearper. Okay, we're looking pretty good right now. This looks like a protected turn 3 win at the moment. Currently, the Urza Saga gets the Lion's Eye Diamond. We have Hope of Gearper to protect Lightning Bolt. Okay, so that's fine because we can use Cavern on the Scarecrow. Tap this for mana. Dominic's deck looking very good right now. Grab a Lion's Eye Diamond. Cavern of Souls, Scarecrow, make that Scarecrow mana, black, discard our hand and we'll target you. Mill your deck. Alright, that's game number 1. Soul Guide Lantern probably isn't super good in this matchup, but is there anything else we'd rather have? Maybe the Brutal Cathar? Needle for Wasteland actually is probably better. Let's submit. Game 2 on the draw versus Delver, we will keep. Okay, so they're Grixis Delver. Goodbye Grindstone. Draw a Lotus Petal. Play the Saga. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lotus Petal. And I think there's not a lot of harm in playing these out. Our opponent could have something like Engineered Explosives, but I think it's more likely that they have additional discard and Thoughtseize. No Wasteland, that's a good sign. Okay. Play the Ancient Tomb. We'll pass the turn. Okay, so they have 5 in hand. They haven't done anything else. Construct time. We'll untap, draw another diamond. We'll make another construct. So if they have a lightning bolt and they don't, they could have killed the construct there. What if I just get like Hope of Gearper and I don't know if that's actually good enough. Could get Spellbomb to clear creatures, like blockers. I don't hate that. We'll grab Spellbomb. Play Arid Mesa. Lion's Eye Diamond. We have a 6 power creature. Next turn, we're representing lethal. Swing better. Swing. Opponent's at 12 life. We have lethal on board. They cast Ponder. They shuffle. And another land. Okay. And a concession! 3-0! Look at the hand! 5 pieces of counter magic! That doesn't stop Urza's Saga. The plan C looking pretty good. Alright, let's go get those final 2 matches. Let's 5-0 this and make Dominic proud. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting your own Magic events with features such as easy-to-create event registration for 4-player and one-on-one Swiss-based games. Event management has never been so simple, and it's done on the web, no downloads are required. You can sign up for $5 by visiting eminence.events/subscribe. Another round, another die roll win, running hot on the play. Yorion Sky Nomad. Okay, well, I will keep this. I'm not really sure what our opponent's playing. Let's play a Cavern of Souls, and we'll say Scarecrow. Grindstone. Pass the turn. Are you Death and Taxes, or are you Blue Zenith? Looks like Blue Zenith to me. Another Cavern of Souls. I'll say Scarecrow again. Pass the turn. Basic Island, okay. Draw. Lotus Petal. Plateau. Make some Scarecrow mana. Painter's Servant. They're going to fetch. Basic Plains. Reprieve. Sure, yeah, you got her on my Cavern of Souls. We'll play a Pyrite Spellbomb. Pass the turn. That's funny. Reprieve and Legacy. Never thought I'd see the day. People don't play Remand. And Remand pitches to Force of Will. So unless you're worried about your Solitude count, I don't know. They play a Tundra, sure thing. Fable. Another Cavern of Souls, will say human this time. Scarecrow, Painter Servant. March of Otherworldly Light. That's a bummer. Okay. So that happened. We'll say black. Fable. And a Force of Will, exiling Spell Pierce. Okay, we have to pass the turn. Our opponent has 4 cards in hand. Back to basics. Wow. Okay. We find Urza's Saga. So that actually gives us a chance here. We would need our opponent's 4 cards in hand to just be terrible, but there's a fighting chance. They play a Ponder. They did not shuffle, and they find Swords to Plowshares. I might pick it up here. I don't think we're actually capable of winning this game anymore. I can make 1 Saga, or 1 Construct. Okay. Let's make a 2-2. And now the 3rd chapter happens. Let's grab Soul Guide Lantern, I guess, because like they're likely a Snapcaster deck. Exile the Swords. Play this useless Ancient Tomb. Attack for 3. Dress down. Yeah, they just had our number this whole game. Okay, we can go to the next one. That was a brutal demolishing for us. Don't think I'm going to sideboard. Game 2. I don't love this. I guess I'll keep it, but I'm not thrilled. Alright. Land past the turn. Go grab a mountain. Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to say, wait, there's not a basic? I was going to say, I don't want to lose to back to basics again, so we'll try to grab basics here. Open Gear Per, that's a spicy draw. Play it. Grindstone off the top, let's go! I guess Auriok Salvagers could also work. But they had the swords. I mean, Spirit Guide. Walking Ballista for 2. On our end step, the opponent cycles a Timeless Dragon. We'll shoot them for some damage, I guess. Okay. Draw. Alright, so we have the combo here. The question is, does our opponent have counter magic? Lion's Eye Diamond. Painter Servant. Ideally, they would counter the painter here. And they do. Auriok Salvagers. This represents lethal, but they have another piece of counter magic we have to pass. Another Timeless Dragon. Maybe I'll go Spirit Guide Beatdown, who knows? No, I'm definitely not doing that. Alright, Fable. So even before I drew the Fable, I was never going to go Spirit Guide Beatdown. Our opponent has a pair of Timeless Dragons and a Yorion. It's just not a wise move. So Reprieve, we'll pitch the Spirit Guide. Ouch. Fable. Okay. The Fairy Time Raveler. Goodbye, Goblin. Draw Urza Saga. I don't think I want to get rid of that one. Play Saga. Alright, see you, City of Traders. We don't need you anymore. And they have March. That's a bummer. And they're passing. So our Fable will transform. We'll get a reflection of Kiki Jiki. I'm going to hold this land. The Wandering Emperor. Alright, so they plus their Teferi. They make another Samurai Narset. 2 cards currently in the opponent's hand, plus whatever they find off the Narset here, which was apparently a dress down. No blocks, we'll go to 12 life. Draw. Another Fable. Play it. And they remove my reflection of Kiki Jiki. Pass the turn. They use the Narset. Another dress down. So they have a pair of dress down in their hand. I think I probably lost this one. Draw. We do not want to trigger this Fable in the Mirror Breaker. There is a Narset Parter of Veils on the table. Play the Plateau and we'll pass the turn. They make another Samurai, and it's not looking good for the home team here. They play a big Teferi. Sure. They put Force of Will back on top of their deck. I think I'm okay calling this one. We are sufficiently locked out. Unfortunately, we've picked up our first loss for 3-1, but I have full confidence in our ability to win the next match. Let's finish strong with a 4-1 finish. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Match 5 and another round, like I said, another die roll win. We're facing Marcus, who tends to play High Tide Combo, Cephalid Breakfast, Doomsday, and Blue-White control decks, but mostly known for High Tide Combo. Here we have a double Lion's Eye Diamond hand and no 4th mana for the Karn the Great Creator. I think we could probably do better. Interesting. Let's say we keep and we'll bottom a Fable. There's a Saga, pass the turn. Scalding Turn doesn't tell us a whole lot here. Alright, well, it's not High Tide. Oh no! Oh, that was brutal. So now we're a Lion's Eye Diamond away. And we need more mana, like an Ancient Tomb or something too, but theoretically, they play their own Saga. Okay, well that hurt. I could have waited until turn 2, but we're so far behind on resources. And they have the Soul Guide anyway. It's not looking good for us here. Okay, we'll play Cavern named Scarecrow. Pitch a Spirit Guide. Fable. It resolves! Pass. We'll draw for turn. Karn the Great Piece of Trash. Okay. Yes, discard Recruiter and the Salvagers. Like, Salvagers combo doesn't work when there's a Soul Guide in play. So, I mean, I could also discard the Karn, because it's pretty far away mana-wise, plus they're about to make a bunch of constructs. I don't know. Let's do that, I guess. Go to combat. Swing. Are you willing to trade your construct token for my shaman? The answer was no. Imperial Recruiter. We will grab Painter's Servant. Pass the turn. They're making another construct here, plus the Saga gets to search out a card. They grab Retrofitter Foundry. We also search out a Tundra and cast Ponder. We're just really tight on mana here. They attack, no blocks. Draw. That was a good one. Karn, the Great Creator. Force of Negation, pitching Narset. Okay. I think I'll just pass for now. Another copy of Urza Saga. They have 2 cards in hand. Staff of the Storyteller, so their constructs will grow even larger. They're attacking for 10, so I would go to 4. I think we're supposed to chump at least one of these here. Okay, I'm at 9. Draw. City of Traders. We'll play Imperial Recruiter. It triggers... No way to get Grindstone here. I guess I'll grab another Painter Servant. Go to 7. Play Painter Servant. So I could tap the Cavern of Souls on Scarecrow, I'm aware. But if I do that, I have to main phase the Imperial Recruiter copy. And I want to be able to copy with Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Let's attack with the Shaman, get an extra mana. And we'll pass the turn. Urza Saga goes up to the 2nd chapter. So what they can do this turn is copy with Urza Saga, which will, or I'm sorry, make a construct with Urza Saga, which will trigger Staff of the Storyteller, and then they can draw off Staff. So that's something they're allowed to do here. If they do it, who knows? But it's an option they have. So now we will copy Imperial Recruiter. Ooh. Yeah, I probably should have done this in their upkeep before the Ponder. That was a mistake on my part. So I'm actually dead on... Or actually, am I? So if I block, they make a card with Retrofitter. I go to 1? Maybe I'm not dead. Or a construct works too. I would take 7 going to 1. Sure. Grindstone off the top is my chance here. Draw? That's not Grindstone. Okay, so we failed in game number 1. We didn't get to do the thing. Soul Guide Lantern doesn't seem great here. I'm going to take that out, and there's really nothing in the sideboard for blue decks. Like, this deck probably needs Defense Grid in the sideboard, so that way your spells resolve. I guess we'll bring in Needle. Not really sure what else we're supposed to do here. Like, that's a pretty big gap. Like, we lost the last round to the blue-white deck. We're losing to another Azorius deck here. I think you probably want to start your sideboard with, like, 3 copies of Defense Grid. Like, we just need some sort of way to fight back. Like, when you're playing Painter combo, you have Pyroblasts. Bomberman has Chalice of the Void. This deck doesn't really have anything other than the Singleton Hope of Europer. So if this gets answered, you're sort of at the mercy of your opponent. Game 2. Don't think I'm allowed to keep this. Ay, ay, ay. We'll keep this, and I think you're supposed to get rid of the Lotus Petal. Like, yeah, it gives you something for Urza Saga, but I think you just want permanent mana in this matchup. Alright, Saga passed the turn. Imperial Recruiter. Not really what we're looking to do this game, but it could be useful later. They search out Tundra and cast Ponder. Okay, so they're passing. On their end step, we will make a construct. And you might be saying, your construct could have been larger, you put the Lotus Petal on the bottom. Like I said, I think the permanent mana just matters a little bit more. This looks like a march. Yep. Okay, so we got 1 construct. Ouch. Karn, the Great Creator. That resolved. Yes. Let's get Lattice. I mean, this resolved without any response from our opponent, so let's threaten the game-winning spell. They have their own Urza Saga, 6 cards in hand. Staff of the Storyteller, sure. And a Soul Guide. Pitch the Spirit Guide. Lattice. And they did have a counterspell this time. Interesting. Last turn, they let the Karn resolve. Well, plus Karn. Pass the turn. They Brainstorm, Scalding Tarn, still 2 cards in hand. They attack the Karn down to 3, as expected. Another Karn. We'll play Cavern of Souls, we'll name Human. Ouch. Imperial Recruiter, Painter Servant, play the Painter, black, Spellbomb. So if they make a construct here, this is an artifact, this is an artifact, so it'd be a 3/3. We'll plus on the Spellbomb. And I'm going to just pass the turn. They have 3 cards in hand, and they can search their deck with Urza Saga here. A Needle on Grindstone would be pretty good for them. And they're going to make another construct. And there's the Needle. I guess they could just name Karn. And that's what they do. I'm at 6. I think I'm supposed to... They're swinging all out at Karn. I'm going to let the Karn die. They swords the Painter Servant. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just dead here. I'm at 7. Pretty sure we have an Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, they have a Needle. Ah, that's right. I mean, that literally happened last turn. I don't know how we would actually win this game. I'm pretty sure we've already lost, but we can play it through. We'll throw... They're attacking Karn again? Sure, you can attack Karn. We draw a card off Staff of the Storyteller. Cycle the Spellbomb. Urza Saga is not going to be fast enough here. Are they countering Lion's Eye Diamond? Sure. Why not? They play a Ponder, they don't shuffle, they draw a card with Staff. Things are looking like the game is going to be ending. Another Ponder. And a Brainstorm. Sure, draw your life away. We are obligated to block both constructs. We're at 3. And that'll do it. So, ultimately, we finished with a 3-2 record, which is not bad. But I do think that this deck is a tiny bit flawed, but tons of potential. So as I mentioned, when you play Painter, you have Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast to protect your combo. When you play Bomberman, you have Chalice of the Void to stop Surgical or Swords to Plowshares. This deck has neither. So I think within the 75, there should be 4 copies of Defense Grid. You might want a couple main, you might want a couple in the sideboard, but I think ultimately that's what this deck needs. Where those slots come from are up to you. I don't think you need this many Walking Ballista. Like, you could play 1 Ballista in the main, 1 Spellbomb in the main, and I think that would probably cover it, and then like 2 Defense Grid here. And then in the sideboard, I'd like 2 Defense Grid as well. At least 1, because you need 1 for Karn. But a Defense Grid in the board, you could look at cutting something like the Brutal Cathar, maybe the Lauren of the Third Path. But those are both targets for your Imperial Recruiters. I just think you need something. And that's my 2 cents. But Dominic, thank you for the donation deck. I really do appreciate it. It was sweet. But that's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. But also, follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.